Meat City, baby. Hello and welcome back to Meat City Gaming. JD here with another episode of Toon Up here in World of Tanks. And yeah, it's been a little while since I've put up an episode of the Toon Up series, which is of course dedicated to platoon play and usually a good result for a platoon, working together in certain situations, maybe to overcome certain odds or accomplishing a great feat or something like that. I had a couple of these that I put up quite a while ago, probably a couple months now at least. And I've recently joined up with a new clan, and I've been doing a little more platooning. So hopefully we'll be able to see a couple more of these videos in the near future. So you can see that the group that I've joined is super serious, very focused on getting into the battle, this tier 10 match on Thiepval, and making sure that because we're top tier, getting out to the front with no distractions. And yeah, this group likes to mess around and have fun, but a little joking aside, little blocking of those slow, heavy tanks, and we're going to get ourselves into position here. So just a word of note, at the beginning of the battle, I take a spot on top of this little hill here, which I really like in Thiepval when I have the eastern spawn. It gives you a lot of sight lanes, it lets you put a lot of fire down range, and with the camo on this tank, it's pretty good at firing without getting spotted, and you can always kind of drop back to get out of line of fire from tanks that are below you. But the beginning of the battle, I do get a couple of shots, but nothing really serious, so I do edit out portions where I'm kind of sitting, shifting, looking around without any action, and we'll get to the action, to the good parts pretty quickly. But first, we do have a nice opportunity here on the T-30, the American Tier 9 tank destroyer. First shot goes in and tracks him. He has to burn his repair kit. Second one goes in as well. He's down to a quarter of his hit points. Unfortunately, the third one bounced off of the well-sloped upper hull there, and we weren't able to get the kill. But we've got two shots left, and we can see we were just a little bit slow there getting that shot out at the AMX CDC, the premium French tier 8 medium tank. And we've got one in the clip, and I'm going to kind of look around for somewhere to put this, see if we can get the shot out before we go for our reload. And oh, that would be lovely if we can put it into the Waffenträger. And yes, it goes in and damages the gun. So that's probably going to be a repair kit burn for that Waffenträger. Then I go for the reload, a good 35, 38 seconds. Nothing happened. Poked around a little bit. We're reloaded, and now we've got some more shots at the T-30 again. That one goes in. We need one more. Is he going to go forward? He is. Yes, that shot goes in and secures our first kill of the match. And a nice little start here. But then again, we go for a reload. Not much happening. I do spot the Waffenträger on very low health, and I'm just trying to thread a shot in here. If we can remove this tank, it would be such a good thing for our team. Again, even on 10% of his hit points, that tank can take out any tank in the game in a matter of about 8 seconds. But we were not able to find the shot. We ended up going for a reload, and I noticed a couple of tanks had broken through our lines to the back of our base, so I'm making a move back here to help, along with two of my platoon mates in the T-Rex clan. We've got WoT in the tier 10 tank destroyer. I think he's the one piloting the Jagdpanzer E100, or is it just the regular E100? And we also have an Object 140 back there as well. So I rush back here to try and help out, but it doesn't matter. My allies have taken care of it. And then we are fully reloaded here in another 5 seconds, and we're going to look to see what we can do here to influence the outcome of the battle. And wow, this is bat chat beauty right here. A tortoise going straight across, sideways on. Second shot goes into the tracks. Third shot goes in. Can I get him before he gets behind that hill or that building? Yes. Fourth shot goes in. We take out the tier 9 tortoise. Is it the highest DPM tank in the game? I think it might be. Thankfully, when he's not looking at you, there's not a whole lot he can do. So now we're up one, and there's that Waffenträger. Once again, a very, very dangerous tank to be left alive. And thankfully, WoT is able to take it out. Oh, actually, he's piloting the Waffenträger E100 in the tier 10 tank destroyer there. And things look pretty good. We're up 2 tanks. I'm going for my reload, another 10 seconds. And we seem to have pretty good control of the map. It's pretty even in terms of the territory that we're controlling. But we can see that there is a Jagdpanzer E100, the mighty Jägeru, is holding down this flank. And that is a tough tank to crack. It can point its hull and its armor in your direction, and it's got a big, nasty gun, and it can prevent you from advancing down this flank, even though there's 2 or 3 of us. Well, this is where your fast, light, and medium tanks can really make a difference. I decide I'm just going to go for it. If we let that tank sit there and just shoot at us, he's going to take away huge chunks of our HP at a time. And our allies aren't really going to be able to damage him from the front because he's going to be able to use his armor effectively. But I am in a very fast machine, so I'm going to make a move, and I'm going to try to get him. Either I'm going to get his side, or he's going to have to turn to face me, and if he does that, my allies are going to have some shots. So there we go. We've got the side, and my allies have the other side. We're able to put one in, damaging the ammo rack. That's beautiful. An ammo rack kill would be wonderful. It would take off a ton of hit points. Unfortunately, we don't get that, but we do sneak in behind him, block his retreat, make him a nice, easy target to finish off for our allies. So we've got 2 kills, and we're up 9-6. Things are looking pretty good, and we once again go for a full reload. And now that we've secured the south here, I was a little worried there was going to be 1 or 2 tanks camping in the direction I'm facing now, but we're fortunate enough that that was not the case, and now we can go hunting up the rear of the enemy flank, and maybe we can find those 2 artillery which are platooned together. So I'm going to again use the speed of the Bat Chat here. I'm going to swing wide, and you can see one thing I need to be careful of is the Bat Chat's great weakness. It's low ammo count. I have 15 rounds left, 3 full clips, 1 of regular ammunition, the APCR, and 2 heat clips, which I like to carry in this tank for end of game situations when there's some really heavy armored tanks, or outnumbered situations where you really need every shot to count. So we've loaded our last regular clip, and we can see that we have now pinned the enemy into 1/4 of the map, which is a great situation to be in. But boy, there you can see the FV-215B-183, the Death Star, the biggest gun on any non-tank, non-artillery tank destroyer, and there's an FV-4005. So 2 extremely large guns that could probably take me out in 1 hit if they're firing the Hesh ammo and they roll high. Yeah, they could probably take out me. Even though I've taken almost no damage this game, my tank is at risk from multiple tanks on the enemy team, including the artillery that they've got. So I'm going to be a little bit cautious here. Again, we have the numbers advantage. We have the territory advantage. I want to push when my allies push. I don't want to bumble in there, stumble in myself, and give them a chance to take me out in a 2-on-1 situation in their favor. So we're cresting the ridge, and oh, we almost had a shot into the side of the turret, but the Death Star there does a little cliff dive and is able to do it without taking much damage and gets under our line of fire, breaks line of contact there. So I pop up here and I'm thinking, oh, where's that Artie? Give me a shot, and no such luck. But if we crest this next ridge, maybe we'll see something. There goes the the FV-4005, which is great. And now I saw the shell fly from my left there, so I know the artillery is back in that left corner. But first, I'm going to see if we can do something else here. There's the T110E4. Speaking of big guns on the enemy team, my goodness. And oh my, there goes the M5355. A bad shot there. I auto-aimed, and he just rams into my friendly ally there and takes himself out. And there we see there's the other artillery, the GW Tiger, the Tier 9. Oh, that first shot dunks into the ground, but the second one flies true. We let the third one aim and take out that dangerous German artillery piece, and now just the Death Star and 1 other tank destroyer remaining. But boy, the enemy have kept it close. It's the T110E4 and the Death Star. Again, 2 massive guns, and we've only got 4 tanks left, so we need to be cautious. And all of a sudden, I'm out here by myself. All my allies are on the other side of the map, so I certainly don't want to get tag teamed with one of those coming up on either side of me. That would be a devastating result here. So we did have to use up the last of our regular rounds. We're now loading a premium clip, which we need to do in order to finish off the last tanks here. And there is the Death Star. Okay, he's down there and below me, and there's the T110E4. So I got spotted. I don't want to crest the ridge, and I don't want to poke all the way down the hill there. I'd be sacrificing all my mobility, coming from an expected direction. Instead, I'm going to delay, try and keep these guys lit up, give my allies the information that they need to engage these tanks successfully. And there we go. The T110E4 now has to face my allies. And can I sneak one into the side? Yes, we can. It goes through, and he's pointing back towards us. But if I can get a flush shot at the front of that hull or the side of the turret, there we go. Side of the turret. Nice. And one more should do it. Give me the side armor. Extremely poor side armor on that American Tier 10 tank destroyer. And we're able to take him out. Now I go for the reload, thinking that 2 shots might not be enough for the Death Star. I'm not sure where it is, and I think I'm up on top of the hill, so if the Death Star pokes, I can run and delay until my ammo is reloaded. So we're going to wait here. Again, I don't want to give up my high ground. I'm hugging the rock so I can dive behind either one of them. I'm expecting this Death Star to come up one of these two side roads here at any moment now. He's got to know where I am. He knows I just took out the T-110E4, and he knows I'm here by myself, and the other ones are, my allies are advancing from the other direction. So I'm just waiting for this guy to pop up, and it never happens. But thankfully, it does give me time to fully reload. We've got my last full clip in the gun, and that should be more than enough to take out this Death Star, as long as we're careful with our shot selection and we don't bounce or miss too many of our shots. So now that my allies are close, I feel like I can come down, take a poke, and where did this guy go? So now there's 2 minutes left, and I'm thinking, what is the Death Star trying to do? Well, there are no draws anymore, so we win either way unless he kills all but one of us or all of us to get an instant win. Otherwise, it would go to tiebreakers if he's able to take out 3 of us. But the reload on the Death Star is extremely slow, and there we go. He's running, going for the hills. That Death Star only gets off, what is it, a round and a third, a round and a quarter every minute. So there's not enough time for him to take out enough of our tanks. And so we probably have this in the bag, but man, 4 kills, 15 of my shots have gone in. I feel like the platoon's had a really nice game. I've had a really nice game. Let's go hunt this guy down. I don't want to let him stall out the game and stay alive here at the end. So even though I'm probably going to have to take him by myself, the other tanks on my team were too slow to keep up, and my tank is at risk technically. If this guy's fired in the hesh, he could take me out. But I want to hunt this guy down. I want to try and get this last kill here and turn this into a really, really good game. So there is the FV215B 183. I put 1 shot in on the move, and I'm trying to outrun his gun traverse. I don't. I take a big hit, but we're left with 600 hit points, and that's plenty to put in the 2 remaining shots needed to finish off the Death Star, the Tier 10 British tank destroyer, and secure a victory for our allies. What a fun game. So taking a quick look at the post-game stats, we can see that we racked up 6,000 damage and another 1,700 spotting damage, almost 1,800 spotting damage, close to 8,000 combined damage in that game in the Bat Chat. A really nice match. We also secured a high caliber, our 2nd class mastery. Boy, just a 2nd class for 6,000 damage. This Bat Chat is some insane machine. And there's a nice surprise, a crucial contribution in a tier 10 battle. Crucial contribution requires 12 kills from the platoon in total. Now it is a little less impressive than on the PC, where I think the most you can have in a platoon is 3. So getting 12 kills with 3 members of the team is more impressive than doing it with 5 as we did. But still, a tier 10 match, 12 of the 15 kills of the enemy were done by our platoon. That's a nice result. Really nice working together. Again, I haven't been in this clan for long. I haven't platooned with these guys too many times, but things really went well together. Of course, it doesn't hurt when you're all top tier in a not fully tier 10 match, but nonetheless, a nice result, a crucial contribution in tier 10. I don't think is too common of an occurrence. So a fun one to put up and a good individual effort as well as a team effort. So I thought that would be a nice, fun game. The Bat Chat always makes for good videos because it's so fast, it's so deadly with that gun, and I truly enjoy playing it. It has become my absolute favorite tank in the game. And we can see from the team stats that actually 13 of the 15 kills came from the platoon, with the last 2 being provided by P40C Tomahawk from the Noski clan. So really nice teamwork there. We can see 1,316 base XP for the Bat Chat in that game. And I guess there were about a third of the team was tier 8s, the enemy team. So I can see how the base XP was a little lower there. I wasn't quite spotting all of my own damage. But man, to put up 6,000 damage and have it be a 1,300 base XP game, just a crazy thing for me to see. I haven't quite grown accustomed to those kind of results yet. Taking a look at the individual performance, we can see that we fired 27 of our total 30 rounds. So we didn't go home with a whole lot of ammo left. 22 of our rounds hit, so the Bat Chat at longer ranges can be a bit inaccurate, and if you're firing on the move, that'll happen. 18 penetrations, so not terrible. Again, a couple long-range shots at some heavily armored tanks. Did bounce a couple for our 6,000 damage and nearly 1,800 in assistance damage. We earned quite a bit of silver after all the ammo costs. We ended up taking home 33,000 silver. So hopefully that provided just a little bit of a taste of some tier 10 platoon play. Not too much in the way of advanced tactics there. That was more of just working well as a team, everybody performing their role. I think the maneuver on the Jaegeru, the Jagdpanzer E100, was a really important moment. If we had allowed ourselves to get bogged down, 2 or 3 of our tanks kind of just sitting and trading shots with that big German tank destroyer, it really could have turned the tide of the battle. If that guy had put in 2 or 3 shots, taken out 1 or 2 of our tanks, it would have evened up the battle, allowed the enemies to recover. But using my mobility, making that tank destroyer respect my position, turn himself to face me, opened him up to side shots from my allies, and allowed him to be removed. So it's a real note for people that drive light or mobile tanks. Don't throw your tank away. As the battle wages on, you become so much more important. You may not be able to damage the enemy yourself, but if you can make them turn to face you, you may open them up to opportunities to damage from your team. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. If you did, please feel free to like and favorite the video. And as always, you can subscribe to Meat City Gaming for future content. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next time.